All right. I was for I know. Yeah, but we say anyasa because this is about the second time lights now born anywhere. We cannot continue blaming say light in here. Forgive us for this. We have to fix it in our own way. Na yani koto ECG so 24-hour economy. No never be saying na imu bia na wo kasa wo dia because this is Bantima High Street. People over Kumasi are the only 24-hour street. And I said one of few 24-hour streets in Kumasi is Bantima High Street. Yeah, just about 4 minutes after 7. I can't count from the morning how many times I light in the air blanket and I say electricity air blanket. How do you ensure stable economy, stable business, stable manufacturing, and all these companies with power supply like this? I hope say poor partners and let us finish through. Well, actually, I really wanted us to end with the Ella and JSO issue, but it looks as if say we don't have opportunity. Let's move on to others. Yeah, just several other stories here. I'm sure you'll be very much interested to talk about. First of all, this presidential travels here at Demuya, President Mahama, from day one, our Azumi office as JM2, almost every official visit to Biaro, Unyaya, coordinating Yabema, a plane and JP, just about some few weeks ago, near say Ibrahim Mahama, CEO of Engineers and Planners, was also ato a new private jet.
Bombardier.
Yes, as to say Bombardier, and
Cristiano Ronaldo using.
Cristiano Ronaldo, the all right, or a gold miner, Cristiano, a football miner. Let's see, maybe he can afford. Why not? Because we are a world scale mining there. Definitely, a private jet is within its means. But how appropriate is this? Say a president of a republic like Ghana, a gold producing country, I started producing gold, now His Excellency himself can hear no. Namkaya Bawana Chiba Ibrahim. Na or mine to me in Yasika, my man penun to quain. And I say a man penina and Pasoba mining country or didn't you abema and your man to quain. I know you are as a social commentator, you follow some of these things. What do you have to say about that? I mean,
I'm not against the president traveling because Omapenyi to Koyan, the boat and say, or copy be a brand man for Eddie.
Yeah.
But the mood of the two coin in any here intimate before because he's our first gentleman. It's in your provided be a man security near him or mine in a heading. It's a tree and a cat. You can a masu a cow man because it be out or town for pill. No, when you're director, or to me to confile in an hour, my day.
Yeah,
so no, dear, or dear young.
Yeah.
Okay, Tamana, President Kufuor or no, Moka say the presidential jet in any problem. Some corrosion, even aviation experts, and no make a catch or maybe a call for maintenance. Even President Mahama about some of the call France for maintenance. We don't know, so or maybe maintenance or maybe tester in him. But if say president in India, our private jets, not the president in the field say no, do to go no safer. As a Ghanaian, I'm okay with it. But being okay with it, no, I'm also worrying. My question is, is it for free or the state is paying for certain expenditure for certain I can't
plane and this a car.
Because first, fellows of Fusuku actually say now president using it for free, they don't pay anything. Later on, Obekache said the only costs that the state incur a fuel. You see, Ibrahim Mahama,
he doesn't have more money than the country.
And I say,
he does not have more money than the government. He does not have more money than the government. He does not have more money than the state. We don't have to go and buy. We can hire.
Say on say, yes, no. I say, one now can do baby. That's a bechichero or con by how much chiro con. Unya cabefa. Genuinely, Unya cabere. By Isan Koma
wedding KDT.
It's me question was say so after President Mahama, Ufriswa, let's say be NDC, take over B1. Are they still going to use Ibrahim Mahama's presidential?
Why not? Ibrahim Mahama is a strong member of the NDC.
Now MPP Basu the man.
I don't know. Mami Musa CJ and CJ reply Bia. Why would the president of a republic like Ghana, a gold producing country, oil producing country, timber producing country, I mean, wish now your president you took one. What's in your bema a minor, or crew, or mine we aim one on crying and mining, maybe watch a president in her, and my institutions in Simon and Sana and Sakano, or Prampany Chrono took one. Signing your bema no, and no quadrinally play, it took one. What they call every course, and now bar for an only 1 week cry. Oh, yeah, the recent trip, you know, the old plane, no. I'm sure the old plane has been sold. And all that 21. I made no. So a new one in fine. It's a new one in a present. And then I'm going to say,
South Korea.
Wouldn't you say, or you know, to him the anchor and Kanyashi Biasa? What do you think?
Me, because first of all, digital friend say footprint is a idea. This generation, we have to be very careful with what we say today. Because Ketraman Prono, digital footprint now has really affirmed it, say Ketraman away and pro. You see, at some point, President Mahama Kabibi, Mamen Kaimo Kakra, Namen Kamisi was some of so. Or say President Kufuor can say when you within the age, you know, on we campaign. But on President Mahama, no, if you say, and the cry, oh, yes, over years Kabia, because as Sandy Bedia to baby Yaman. Gabi wache da ko be wiama bounty mu nyina be wies kanama o ma hwe no kopem
say that
intibusa o ho say on what basis ena e wo say Ibrahim Mahama private jet and e wo say President Mahama use
o say o man any private jet as we speak
no o man no your protocol we have protocols that we follow
yeah
wade bi wo ho a na chidi kan say misisi as obi akowia akrante obi akwachi akrante nyeso akowio akokum no forest yet we nim say by you know yekum na mu wura mu nyesa
ye obofo
hanye Kenya
obofo omoduma ne so we obofo
hanye Australia na hanye Kenya ye hade de nim say hu say wura mo babia na mo ho no ma utimi kuno we
ye renko ade
yeah though ignorance of the law is not an excuse we have say a friend say there's this word we call it convention.
Yeah.
We are the BR then becomes the
norm.
The norm when they himself can't na what to to.
Yeah.
Hanya can hanya Australia hanya sebi Kenya.
Yeah.
Obi akokuba krante. Am here na 2 years 3 years or so. Same they can be to say. A protocol a state ni follow. So what I say. Say me am ti hey. And am here adwuma bi office baby. And I say official car. Me pon I say me ja na office enimu. Na me fa passenger car de kofi anopa. Ya be use official car the rounds. Na my driver dey make coffee that be sis okwan so sisi a you be made.
Yeah.
Into on what basis now?
How you have to pay for the
yes.
Incur that's all.
That's it. Yeah. Say you knew a you forfeit your pension because it will go into that. Okay. Into no ma people ho no mo a FSL ni nwa no scar say be wait me at private jet. Fantastic. So what I say. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But to the extent say no na acquire sebi regular a friend say itinerary and na woko baby a wo de kode I have every problem with it say enye ne kwaso no bibia timisi wa we are see but the man who kwan mani nsi ansa ya be kase say ni nti so they say
yeah
there o man timu there che say ntimi high private jet president Mahama
Akufo-Addo there na ne board me tell you be
na dom no 4 years you know be private man obetimi the jet na ko baby o person could
that is your private man
but as now no we set man
yeah
so what I say BBC here you know how much it will cost this state
yeah
so what I say obi nka say BBC no far from that nyankopon kra nyi nkwa chirichi but the nipa there wo kan asem a no akana ne kwan so say eye kwan say ana say eye yeman ya ye rani fa de say Akufo-Addo nwie bi na wo private jet na president Akufo-Addo etremu a
can this for jato man
akwasi
yeah
there be enye ne kwan so no
yeah
enye ne kwan so no yenye de wo say ye
I'm trying.
He can have that.
Thank you. I'm trying to retrieve a message I read on the Facebook wall of Gary R. Smith. He's a sports journalist. Yeah, one of the finest we have in the country.
I think Okasa said the first brother private jet.
I want to read the entire article. It's not that no, it's not too long of an article. Maybe we can read it. But TD said the Obra he doesn't seem to agree with you.
Yeah, because Trump or private jet too.
Or
President Trump or private jet. Why say we're grounded? No, that's been grounded.
Yeah. About Air Force One,
yes.
One Air Force One,
Air Force One. But you can't.
No.
Tina we can say there are protocols the state follows because of sebi if anything the cost involved no is way outweigh say back on high private jet.
Okay, I have the feed now. This was 11 hours ago on the Facebook wall of Gary R. Smith, who is a journalist, sports journalist. He said the president of Ghana should not be using his brother's private jet for official travel. Well-intentioned but poor optics. It does not look good. Governance is a continuum, and we cannot justify every subsequent president doing this. Today, it is a jet. Tomorrow, what? Solution: state should rent or buy one.
Yes.
The current arrangement may be convenient today, but I think we can all agree that in a country like Ghana, somebody else down the line will build this protocol. Even if this jet were free to use, the perception that any president's family can have such access to that high office is something we have battled mightily as a nation. You know it, I know it, we all know it. In a world where perception is more powerful than reality, can we afford this president? He answered no and said we should not start what we cannot finish.
Spot on.
Chidi, this is
exactly my point.
This is black and white.
I did about her Kufuor buying a pie that tag on the man is a family and friends government.
How many of his family were in his government? Yes. Apart from the mayor, no criticizing.
When Gabi Ochidaku opened Asasi Radio, look at how they last.
Asasi is a private entity.
Which a radio station.
That's a radio station.
Which reasonable person?
Oh
no.
How much now we hear now the
radio station? We have a podcast studio here and there's no government company.
I agree. Maybe I agree with what Gary is saying. It is good. Say we have expenditure here then a form. But for the optics, it's about perception. How people see it, Because media so at the comparison for you say imagine saying Kufuor maybe another cousin and they usually use Gabi Oshida and private jet and Kufuor so friend to Konya. Can the way Ghana for Bekano?
Yeah.
But because it is President Mahama, I'm not against him using his brothers.
I am against it.
Yeah, I'm not against.
No, so long as he remains president, I'm not for it.
Yes, indeed. So we're a private man. That's okay.
I have no problem. But so we're president of Ghana.
He's a private man.
I'm against it.
Yes, every room, every right say obey you.
But for security reasons, listen no kind. Say be or China be playing airline, they're not in your issue. Whom are we going to hold responsible? Because okay, sometimes be a brother not or driver or not knowing the chauffeur. People were complaining, say there are security protocols as to so there shouldn't the presidential driver shouldn't even have allowed the president brother to drive the president.
How often do you hear?
Because anything can happen.
Wait, Chidi, we all can come in. How often do you hear the president brother? Because George Bush, senior and junior, no many brothers.
They were having.
Barack Obama, only brother and sister, yeah.
They were having.
Bill Clinton, only brother and sister, yeah. Keir Starmer, no one UK, only brother and sister, yeah. How often do you hear say President Biteso or too quiet? Na ni coach was never brother the man, no. Ni pabo was never brother the man, no. Ni cow they call never brother the man. As a president,
perception as seminar. Until Gary we say or spot on.
Yeah.
They say me to honest say sebi we catch him say Ibrahim Mahama is the new prime minister. I will not challenge
that has to be true.
Because if to me donating a private jet man use free here, if there's any bidding what
is it?
What I say? You be outbidded.
Because there was several president.
There's no way anybody
vice president to pay.
Yeah. Because right now yeah. Ibrahim Mahama is a junior.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Ninya paying president. Sorry.
Now me jet now use. Just anywhere.
So me jet no use.
Me jet no use. So when I recommend man so people so you see, into that perception alone, say Ibrahim Mahama can influence any offender say the situation in Ghana no and you can say allow man basa.
Goodness.
When you see the man Ibrahim Mahama from the optics in the center you don't see you as a said you be a you would he's
a very fine gentleman.
He's a very fine gentleman.
Yeah.
But the man who kind in Simbo Bimbe say say kind. So what I say, politicians I believe say almost but almost in the worst form. because see ya no be cool. Nipa ne kono, we target the family and friends.
Simple.
So what I say. But no yet, they ma because the goodwill has not faded yet. But I don't say, as the goodwill fades, what started from the beginning, people will bring it up, and then it will be your downfall.
All right. I am reliably informed that my good brother and senior Mr. Anna Nechemi is doing the watching. She's watching the show live on Facebook. Good evening to you, Mr. Anna Nechemi. He's the first gentleman to host me on radio on Mind FM. Enkane, UUWK, Isuke, Amusted, and now Asted. School back in Unya didn't get what that. That's where I know him from. Mr. Aranecheme, happy to meet you again. I wish therefore, can we move on to some other subject? I really wish, but as a baby, I can't cry when I'm present with you because as I'm way by I check a cry fine, but at me drew 1 year tremnaster nano or Koswa Yuswa. It tells me that he has no inkling to stop using it anytime soon. After all, he feels safe because any brother space. But the cost ramification in it, I think the statement comes clean and also explain to us why this arrangement is as it is now. Let's move on to some other.
And then I was move on, but another thing I say that this philosophy, I was say, a lot of people are not talking about this situation because of one. Say so, can you be a debia? Then say even here be come once some says can you for because there's this philosophical friend say mentality say. He aspired to be that rich. Yeah. So Nugent said that we honestly be so they are saying Tina always the rich always get away with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Say anybody or anchor because they are also and yeno council.
Yes, because that space is say I say wa crack without say you be an nothing. What I say? You be an fano keke. Say space woman to know single yummy and some great because we be think more okay. Obi junu be din komo ke obenya phone call obenya bibi asemi kwa beti mesika ni ma e wo se wo ro na e bia kakape bia kwhye wata adem na eno no obi ho bia wo fere no beta ka ni ma wan hwa kakape no be you through the journey. There are levels to states politics and that hierarchy na o might be makwan ma umfasa ni ma bi say India grow say o might be say America ni UK ni these advanced democracies no omo hu de man no ebetima yama wa na entimi nyama wa enti so kwaji fibo edi
na Kwasi Mensah no man also wonye do you know the cost of say obe run election
and look at me run am ma we
so what you say eti nyawo so wonye na BBC say after election do you know the amount the security implications and all that enti any they disagree I don't know the kind of omo west na dey hunting so what you say to come back and apologize say the private their friends said presidential jet was terrible.
It wasn't in pristine condition.
It's not present. He said no could you do cano. Did they just admit no they got it wrong? So right now we need to start renting. Then we work with it.
Okay. Now I don't know you be coffee no more no na the last time I was here and they tried the come fire was so east for election or by elections or mokwakoye or mutumi koye and come and this for the day on where some ma Baba Jama ento aso nyina no man to me Baba Jama hato aso e ma ECG ne tumu e ma omode ko face so one MPP the face no in fact MPP placed second as expected yes second say na Mbembe second no the win was an emphatic victory for the NDC and no doubt Baba Jama was a favorite for the party and for the constituency. Today he has been sworn into parliament yesterday and the chairman said you can take Kujano or parliament. Now, while we be and so TV to be you should be able to smile or laugh along the way. Chiri bajo hu chama chiri nkatia so kuja.
Oh, mi hu no.
Sige hu no. Sige de uni ani
because my main problem kaka it wasn't that emphatic sir, because compared to what the late MP won by. You see? Yeah. I won't say apathy na started setting in.
Oh, but
when we tell politicians say would a friend say sir primaries no they should find means or make sure say primaries no monetary aspect no be here for one tiase omo abemo be ebedi wo and then they say there's a friend say fire on the mountain run
but
what I say
but can you also agree to the fact say by election be across Ghana
the penalty is always low.
No but not this low not this low not it's half
half of the last
it's less than half because the man won by 22,000
yes.
almost between 2,000
and also winning by 10,000.
10,000. It's by only the no.
So who appreciated it? MPP votes no bad, so kakra.
MPP
not necessarily
be
about from, but someone say why a strong friend say.
But me 10,000 now 4,000. My win is emphatic.
No, emphatic
Based on the figures available.
Emphatic based on the. Okay, I agree with you on that score.
Valid votes are
compared to
the
previous one, emphatic, sir. Because one, the entity I say analysis and say about saying a 20 something thousand plus, about 10,000, little over 10,000. Yeah. They also the difference is huge.
Too wide, yeah.
There's a huge say 10,000, nearly 10,000 refuse to come and vote. So yes, I say what are the causes?
What do you think are the causes?
Delegate system, and then the anti MPP upon the economy at some point, and then people were not okay with how and then no my to do on daily basis, you know, which was not entirely their fault because then in COVID, your friends say you ran friends US Israel who say COVID really indeed had an impact on our economy, you know. Indeed, it wasn't their fault. A friend said. But Kufuor said, "Bo akoto anwa na anwa bo yatum." You all know where anwa is produced. So what I say. But the main factor at this election, to me, my opinion, a man 90 million year or money vote buying. Say okay, what primary? I'm more TV. I'm more motorbike. Me so family the mommy. So what am I motorbike? I don't see no importance. Say oh, control about primaries near about TV.
Yeah.
Na me ko jina na me say fast.
Any TV go TV 5,000 Ghana.
Yes. So you see, sometimes the money you can do away with the money because people say only evidence.
Yeah.
But TV in the glare of a yes or motom na deko.
Yeah.
So it's about who say TV show motom de cool. Me am here fasting. Me san ko di lan ko to about. Wa bra me nya hwe. And that mean who adibia Chilenim da why monchen.
Okay.
Bibie nu who abetche say this about to bar for because of a by election. Because of what happened. TVC say friends delegate for moto mo. So me too about hon me so TV ni bia me say me moto. I want to go and vote. Especially when I'm fasting.
Matthias. Now let's look at the lighter side of it. Eventually he won all right. And yesterday he was brought into parliament by his party chairman Mr. Chidinketia Johnson, Chidinketia. And some other family and friends. Now, how did you see it? Entrance and do you see one exit in the
exit one than I am fair because you need to feeling it. I was a very confused.
To pack.
Ah, okay.
Lawyer. I don't know why she share a white white. Oh, okay.
Only near and a charmer super room, no born white.
Na chama cheno me bachu e prove your point the man na say obano say no
say chama HS were defeated the establishment. Ozo obi no only esi educate here ko election na unzuru. Who bubu establishment.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it was a nice but image be out and me my ferry.
Do you think it's just an image or it happened?
It happened as a parliament or Ibida or Moda.
And then Baba Jaman, the first year parliament after about 10-year break. No be
let us understand, say,
yeah.
Obre.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, say, if you are the stress I will go through, I will say, finally, or Tina City, I can now relax. Why, I say, let's hear crazy to me, we are podcast studio and say, can you hear
that?
Maybe to me, but you have to also me
yeah.
But what Baba Jama went to look, say what to a baby now part your own party people. If you are not better parliament or no catch or say we should nullify the election.
Yeah.
Like down that.
Yeah.
How many show at that time? If you say your own people that you were coming to work with,
they are rejecting you.
Yes.
From the start.
It's everything on the I mean, moon is an order, moon is an organizing to go for a mutin kind of winning bay jumana. So, and unless you can't NDC should be very, very careful because if they don't take care, something that usually happens in the MPP, it might happen in their party for the first time.
Which is what?
That voter apathy.
At two NDC paying. Now, just that.
Oh, numbers now, a two numbers, and soon she done TBP.
Really? No.
2016. Some apathy or
was unprecedented.
Kufuor's 1 million was not all MPP.
Yes. Let us accept that. But for compare 2012, 2008, where MPP say voter apathy sima,
Yeah.
you could feel it
Yeah.
from a set from time beginning. Ever.
I'm not more about my nyanko.
NDC biena na wokan. Time na dum so oni na the NDC people, some of them were very confident that things will turn around.
All right.
You read 2016 na man phones and no, the way things have gotten to know. And then some of the amount for being near to say stand dogbe mo speaker Babin at that time about stand dogbe.
2016, Babin was not a speaker.
No, me say me six is a speaker. I'm addressing him by.
I think he was a minority
leader at that time. Our addressing say about some of the party who stand dogbe, some of the people around the president, the way they were behaving. Now, a course.
I remember.
The party, no
arrogance of power, no more than
the arrogance of power. Now, party members,
children of sharp teaching.
It looks like it is, and you see,
babies with sharp teeth.
Politicians always learn from their worst mistake.
After it has happened.
After it has happened, sideway behind the tomb, and me, I don't blame. I blame them.
What are you trying to say?
Look, I am the generation people catch them say baby mojuma. It is over power as nipa na or two abama because of mojuma. No farmer now. What do you expect him or her to do? Just or sacrificing a life? So be depart in the name.
It's only 15 months.
15 months. So you promise him or her a job, and that person is looking for that job. Just give it to him or her. Don't give them excuses. And even the MPP for no, I'm catch you.
But what I don't care how many people, about almost 6 million people voted for the NDC.
Yes.
There's no possibility that the NDC government can give 6 million people jobs.
Then why did you promise them the 24 hours?
It's part of politics.
Why?
It does not necessarily mean that each and every one of you will get one.
It's part of politics. But the little things now more can a customer. Yantiana, Yama Penny, Abedeche, or catches some more basic sky train. About so. Yantiana catches a $1 the ship easy. Ye Edikina ma IGP. Yeti and another dollar will boo, who will be a boo or not, walk boo ya, or silly actually come, not a number one thing. And you see, these were people who promised Ghanaian jobs, 1D, 1F. But when they came to power, the model and the implementation, the policy was
everything changed. Yeah,
similar to the 24-hour economy. One job, three people, three shifts. But now you are seeing.
I never believed it. To me, it was just.
No matter what, there are people who believe.
And then to talk about the 1D, 1F, the policy never shifted.
It changed a bit.
It didn't.
It did a bit.
It didn't. I want to say sometimes we forget the philosophy of both parties. MPP philosophy is never about government creating jobs.
But when they were saying that,
the private sector.
Wait.
What I'm saying is that you promised the people that one district,
one factory.
So they were expecting that every district to have
a factory.
Okay, that I agree on.
Thank you.
That's similar.
I would say people have that mentality.
I don't see, man. I never believed it.
So Kasapreko has been was put under 1D, 1F. Then people say Kasapreko.
It was there, all right.
No, Kasapreko under what capacity?
Yeah.
So what I say. And then people have problem with it. Me, for instance, so come be 5, come be 10. What can the person do with it? The existing poultry farm, just empower them. All they need is give them
funds,
some
capacity.
Some capacity. It's like no more go akwamu
no more money
cut imports and then give them
so that they can produce more.
Same way they thought say okay, Kasapreko it's already producing. Gihok or other existing factories are producing, but under utilizing their facilities.
Yes.
So there's no need to start something from the ground.
Yeah.
When we have the existence, then we give them tax exemption.
Yeah.
Then we give them some
low tariffs and other
low tariffs and what I say. Into the issue of 1D, 1F, no, I actually don't believe a failure, but for COVID, it massive.
It did.
For COVID,
me free baby, she did free. Like she was saying, I didn't believe that NDC or any government and as any party, Ghana, a Juma 24 hour to the point
that you have been consistent.
You could 24-hour clock. No, could Tim Green. No, Timus Bibia or 2 Timu. Oh no, I'm a Dipana at the Tillet so. Omokaya my full crowd name why na 24-hour economy. To me, none of it was true. But at some point, I felt say maybe the 1D 1F is possible because I heard number of districts in the country and also okay, those saying constituency Caribbean and as on Bepe.
Constituency two.
Ever tell the constituency be
around
it's the constituency Caribbean back Ukraine. No, some districts can feel say well. I'm mayor cry and I say yeah, maybe cry back home see any band, TB and crop for Kakunya Jumenubia. And during the campaign, there was no mention of yeah, Baba private sector for my establishment.
No, I was they don't need to mention that. Who MPP more? You know the philosophy of MPP. So government had no business creating.
But MPP brought Metro Mass, which is government sponsored.
Metro Mass originally MPP brought private friends.
It didn't end up private.
No, it was private public partnership. At some point, the
private put off.
Yes,
and public assuming NHI and this is the MPP the buy, you know.
That is social intervention.
Fine. So we first say, some of us first say, for the first time, our government is going to provide a social intervention in our constituency.
I have never had that.
In their manifesto for 2016 elections, you know, MPP was stipulated almost every constituency what they have identified there on Betima build the factory.
Correct.
It means the me and the shame will say and now say bekwai means a bekwai the honya man said a baby say the commercial and me as a baby factory now you know supply chain now to the factory finished products near sport to be but no make as a debut so they okay yeah capitalist oriented.
Yes,
it's a promo some more rich man be or bit make kind say 1 or 2 or 3 or group we are with my come home. They are supporting my many there and
that is the way.
I remember my party chairman.
What is the vision of every political party? It's to capture political power.
Yes.
Into political power or capture is in two folds.
Yeah.
How will I get the literates and how will I get the illiterates?
Good.
He knows that the literate people will read.
Yeah.
18% or scamming or crying.
Almost
knows. Say literate for no so the people almost selling message, you know. Other literature or non-parking kind. Or be breaking it down. I change so 24-hour coming you buy a baby. See, one constituency $1 million
dollars. Then maybe the I didn't see.
And also I say okay. So people are anticipating that every year the constituency will have $1 million. Okay, but the model was different. So explanation in a politicians need the maximum for na omontiase say. And then I would just simple so no one can answer
and then again. That one friend say 1 million per constituency was actually the downfall of MPP in terms of MMDCs suffering because of that they thought the 1 million was so huge they couldn't fulfill it. It's the only strategy we say you have everything centralized and then we bring it to you down there. So that can be able say that is under the 1 million.
You see, that's what I'm saying is it is politicians who lock themselves up.
Yeah.
Why were you in this country and they were campaigning that Omobombe teacher license exams?
Want to make
it almost as a son.
Yeah, a bill no. A few days or 2 as exams.
There are some nuisances be a year on. Why was this teacher and nursing training allowance introduced? I got to a point I could fulfill because at that time, then the people be in court. It's in us with this stimulus package
as a motivation.
Every chini problem. Now, she said, why should you continue to pay?
Political reasons.
And also, how my name, more money, Sika, 7 no, Tobahano. But as a politician, you could from a dear about MPP this NDC power 2016 was Omucha teacher training allowance.
Yeah, but some MPP. Me enya kokodro ka say the pampani mahama ye foaso even na ebebo no
dey tire so mo foaso no I say always the rich continue to be richer
and the poor continue.
Why so? Why am I saying this? Do you have any idea say a quack of us and medium if you position the man as school board no that's not his salary. The kind of allowances he gets by the end of the year. Do you have any idea?
It's one CEO. It's only one.
No. Do you know how many CEOs do you have in this country?
No,
forget about CEOs, those board directors and all that. Do you have any idea?
I have some little idea. Yeah, it's huge.
And why can't no man somebody enjoy a little bit there?
You have a point.
There's something wrong.
You have a point there.
I disagree with you on this.
You have a point there.
Nipa bebre quote teacher training, nursing training because they can't afford university.
Yes.
And they know say at some point, you know, the allowance will come. Loan kakra dem ame koje man no. They will use part of allowance to pay back.
Yeah.
So that's it. The idea of say because we're shortage of teacher, no, I don't believe that was it. There was never a shortage of teachers until they introduced. Because it was introduced, because we realized say we need people, we need to motivate people. Say, there's a way you'll be able to pay back whatever you borrowed to school. Not necessarily say we motivate them to go into teaching. Everybody was happy with teaching at that time. Everybody was happy to be a nurse at that time.
So first we teacher, which more means.
Yes.
But NSA training college now, omokono. What will be a semester scout here?
As fees.
You see,
as fees neka sa allowances.
It's allowance. Yes,
it doesn't make sense.
And to mean allowance
to give them allowance.
Now some agent fee over 900,000 salary in the allowance is ordinary. I know that's what
90,900. Yeah.
So okay, some you maybe skip to amount for now. Nipa baako. Woman salary na allowance is go you free more. At the end of the day, no. I want to catch a physical discipline. And then we be an away. So it's what
physical discipline the top there. Oh, I
can't from.
That's the no would man lose.
But the near chat politicians none a coca sama none no side. I begin to say Omaka say you create jobs, no. Omoba they still rely on those public sector jobs.
Affiliates.
Yeah, ba you be funny person.
Affiliate.
No, I feel to me fan then they create BBC fire assistant, police assistant. Now, one was a public, you know. It's at the end of the day, move Brennan Munyes can find.
I think, say, sorry, I think, say, no, going back to the teacher and nursing training, no, we are just not taking advantage of what we have as a state. Like Cuba does, train medicals, doctors,
export them,
and then export them. Like not Cuba. If you go to Philippines. If you go to Canada, if you go to the UK, they will tell you, say, only any Philippine, any healthcare or nursing or any field of healthcare, they will pick the Philippine over you. Why? Because subconsciously, they know, say, they really perfect that aspect. It will be on himself in terms of that, you know, Philippines are the best. Yeah, what facilities in any part of this African area, in terms of West Africa, there was so much facility that can train these nurses and these teachers to be the top notch. How we can export them. But Obi 1 million be a UNESCO the Brennan as a World Health Organization just $2 million into no. He will go and put Ghana on a red list. Say Ghana, we are in shortage of health workers, so we can't export health workers from outside. Or any country cannot actively recruit from Ghana. Do you have any idea after COVID? If not for COVID, and then Ghana, first international community was allowed to recruit from Ghana. Do you have any idea backlog for nurses in this country? And we couldn't even contain them. As of now, we are introducing quota into our nursing training colleges, knowing very well the facilities they have, they can train them and export them. So why not say, okay, as a country, we have to go and then look at our curriculum for the the nurses. One MPP had, I remember, Baumia, the manifesto for the MPP was to move them from diploma to degree nursing.
Yeah.
Like they did with the training colleges.
Yeah.
So that you draw a proper curriculum to meet international standard, to meet UK standard, to meet Canadian standard, to meet the US standard. And then make sure you roll out these curriculums. Trust me, in the next 4 or 5 years, Ghana will be hot cake for exporting healthcare workers.
Why are we not exploring that?
We are not exporting because of UNICEF $2 million, because of World Health Organization $1 million. It's a quarter red list. Okay, for improve your facilities, need you. So we are on the red list. Say we are in healthcare shortages. You know very well. Say right now, nipa be they want to do medicine.
Be quite nursing every 3 years. No,
they are not getting entry into medical schools.
Yeah.
And people have completed, nursing for over 6-7 years. They want to go into specialty.
Yeah.
Recently, Nyamba, a friend say KNUSC critical care. KNUSC kakaka science is so kakaka.
All this one
they only had they had emergency care, as I said, less than 3 years ago. Now I've heard said they've got critical care. These are the things that we need to migrate from say baby Ghana yedru no. We don't need here say be training nurses as a first diploma nurses, nurses at
as a rudimentary one
this brown people
community
nurses. Yeah. We can really plan
specialists.
We are not planning. We are not thinking. Until there were a lot of problems.
Oh, Danny Hope Prefect as health minister. What do you expect?
Oh, why you?
What is it? We are not planning. You're planning as a Maya because the facilities and you problem you want. We can train these nurses, these teachers, and export them. We will have enough for us exchanger.
You didn't like my Danny Hall Prefect job on the health minister
because he's my senior.
Well, so anything I'm one fan is.
But look at what it doesn't limit him of his.
No. A point of correction. That red list was not put in effect by DHP.
I get it.
It was done by friend say Kwaku
Mamenu.
I never like that man.
Well, but Kwaku Mamenu and they Sputnik
yeah, I never like that.
Government communications, presidency communications minister. Ababaka say Achino crime. No, he's under interrogation going back. Oh yeah, according to oh no, that's a Kwaku Mamenu. Or no, you have minister crano, Sika cry fancy because a cocoto drum and don't have my or no, dear poo be a man as a sending replacement. Now, confer Danny Hall Prefect bar. Abra, you walk. Some people are Asama. Wait. Asama CJK. I know that there are many specialists within the NDC who will see from the point of view of CJ. Who may want to do what CJ is doing? Maybe
yes.
So he said about think here. He can be a better health minister compared to
Professor Bayo.
Yes.
Bayo.
CEO.
Now what Bayo? That was an
actor.
Now keep quiet to listen. So what Bayo, Professor? Now Dr. Zanato. What by mu party mu na mo no, just goodwill of the votes. Why do you bring Akando as health minister?
Because at that time, no, Kasafa health
it doesn't really.
And you see,
you can put him elsewhere.
President Akufo-Addo Bekono Oyi Kwakwajima Menu free Dr. Okuboy free health national health insurance. But you so Obiang who change. They felt he is in that field. He understands. He knows how they communicate.
We have no business training diploma nurses, community nurses, and you miss our business at this stage of Ghana.
Those things
have to be apprenticed.
Oh goodness!
So hospital one man,
yes, now,
facility, you design proper programs, exportable. There is nothing in Philippines, apart from the healthcare sector.
Yeah.
And they are doing so well, sir. Yeah. It will shock you.
Yeah.
How much they are generating from forest through
this exporting of nurses and other people.
So okay. Time I can't know about for now or call Tamale Teaching Hospital incident BC
or Dr.
or more interrogating. I watched Dr. Okuboy say the hospital environment in Ankara need to do. So as a minister, you should have known how to approach this issue. Me say MPP Babema, no me Babema. The man who started the Hill Confanachi project, the CEO now, Professor Ochiade Mensah. They should make him the health minister as soon as possible. Right. They shouldn't think twice because these are people who want Ghana at heart. Look at the short term about 18 months or by the transformation at SEO Confanachi. We Professor Bakuna the Akufo-Addo by Akufo-Addo health advisor.
What it was to make
I think the best you are Confanochi Professor
in your estimation
at the
yes.
You Confanochi.
Recently somebody has smart Senecon. Speaking about it.
Draft of any full report. Now draft
it's the same thing as Deputy Finance Minister could read your parliament. It's not a complete
audit.
Draft.
Yes.
Draft.
Yeah.
Not drafting about. But
why is the professor out there explaining the draft?
Say asim one me.
They also could say yeah. And now what allow man to call for a long time. And everybody is talking about it recently. Not just a draft, not signed by any auditing firm. So that the management letter, you we all know how the thing works.
Yeah.
So what I say.
So if it were me, I would just issue a statement, just one statement. I don't have to even go to a media house. Wait. A statement say, maybe I disagree with some findings I find, or we all find in the draft, but it's a draft, and I will entreat the general public to wait until maybe the final report is
even
out.
the draft in the planning hasn't been signed. So how do you accept that as a draft?
So why do you base on a draft?
One question so going on obisu the propaganda
because Saudi akoma paya there.
Yeah.
Now
I wish that the professor
maybe someday will have it.
I mean, you speak out. Trust me.
Oh, I believe that, but I also believe in perfect timing or the right timing.
That's also true.
If people are making allegations prematurely, you don't also go reply prematurely. When you are waiting for, if like the matured response, if his reasons for coming out right now is to tell people that whatever they are basing on to say what they are saying about him is nothing but just a draft, and I think one also no defense and also is premature, because the best I could do if I were him as a communicator is maybe to come out with some written notice that this is the only politician say our attention has been drawn to, a series of commentaries in media about me, blah 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 blah, and all the references or the source of their references has been this drafted audit account or audit draft. But I went to the general public to wait until the final substantive report comes out. Now what I say, if anybody continues to use that source to chide you or to chastise you, some of us can also go to the master. Why do you use a draft?
We live in a society we pray and we prejudge every issue.
Yeah.
Assembly bar. Any SCC, 100,000 Ghana cedis, empire.
A babontin pet said the Diamba. Say no cross, say no TikTok live
video on came.
Yeah.
So already our build over the years. Say you may demand of Canas or to channel one person obey. Not in penny for a friend about Abekachin CC a Santiman Cosuntino. Be here, you man, no obeying obedient, see, but Taran one Nippon Pecasa. Now I won't him. My brother was study the ecosystem and we say this is how the people in the country behave, because a journalist with me for draft. I answer you.
And there is show. Full show.
I ran no down. It's by the time of full reports, that journalist, all about Tabaka sorry.
Once I found full report, no,
okay, I tell my consider issue by Deloitte and Touche.
Yeah.
A report in by some of them were quiet in this country, and I feel near quiet. Auditor General so quiet. I'm waiting for that report to come out to the new. It's Kona Etiana. What I say, you say, Udia. You say, Udia, if you don't speak out now, that's all. Chenya. That's a way you me full report in about any. I say, Udia.
Now, we didn't crack me. Well, Marty, the Odeno Kwapia, chairman Odeno Kwapia, aka Coca. Now his posters are out. He is in for the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the MPP. What was our artwork?
No.
Well, today he released it. This is 14 hours ago on his own Facebook wall. I am contesting the Ashanti Regional Chairmanship position. The journey begins today. Asanteman Kuka. I care. Have you seen it?
Oh, we have mobile program. That's in a two chairman.
At the comedy show. Last year's comedy show.
You see where the MPP has gotten to.
Yeah.
They need new, like fresh air.
Okay.
New faces to lead the party, especially in their stronghold.
Yeah.
People are tired of the old regime now. And Omuhia Obia, he connects well with the base of the MPP. Because MPP party, no financing more Cocoa Cratchit air fat. And that Cocoa Cratchit fund, they were in the Ashanti Eastern.
In Western.
So that's where the base of the MPP is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the northern people
they also play the role, but the dominance is in the south
people
here.
were here. And so we know be a obetimi are connected easily with the router. Looking at what Dr. Franco Makwini was sentiment.
And then I sentiment where we are example. Is he a grassroots man like that? I've never seen him in consistency. Doesn't mean that he hasn't been there. Yeah.
Generation the style of generating information.
No.
There was a generation that passed information information through mails.
Yeah.
There's a generation that pass information through newspapers.
Yeah.
And there's a generation that pass information through electronics.
Yeah, that's true.
And also you're much interested in.
He's a Gen Z himself.
Yes.
Almost a Gen Z.
And only reading that aspect, you know.
Yeah.
And MPP doesn't have anybody here I've not seen anybody here in Ashanti region. Though they have.
Wun to me is not an internet person.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they need to get somebody here.
Kuka is an internet person.
Yes. About bridging that gap. No?
That's true.
That's what I say. Because Uja, Dr. Frank Amakon, if you are never about 2020, no renew, but when you be a or Tida MPP, no matter a bit of dynamic, I make up about branding.
Mm-hmm.
Branding MPP.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way you can brand it. It will be attractive. And even a Dr. Frank Amakon,
okay.
Or update Asantimai, the Ekosowaha. So you can also choose a different style, update Asantimai MPP about what is happening. Say, Bia, who was some vision be as a party chairman, a person, or yeah, that ever connected with the youth and say, Ebia, you fire then you get your people back. Let me tell you, this is a region that loves their party.
Of course they do.
There's a perception out there say it is changing, but I don't believe in that. Once our team need your team, Bibi kakra bi si a ono beka cho say ye fruma no ye UP4. Oka ko tuna aba there may. If you like, let the MPP organize themselves. It will shock you say the NDC number no nya in 2024 a bit may reduce.
Okay.
Because Bantima as en so kwanya 40,000 will be another 20 no number 60 to get into 70,000 ya 40,000 you might say omo benya chairman bia he easily reconnect with the base out to me come abom say let us the SCBI fan chiche ho let us restructure and that chairman not to me align the vision with that of Dr. Baumia. That's
all right.
Done deal for them.
See what chairman or the no go kwapia is a friend of Asanteman Coca ukbon Coca no so a cho the I care twato.
Yes.
Yeah, I think say the last election, we were saying say, to me should have run for the Ashanti Regional Championship.
It was a mistake for you.
It was a mistake. We all said it, say, because of that good issues, the issue about him, no, none of what amount for.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm not saying say onye the right onye in terms onye na jumo. Indeed, so a case chairman be your jumo Ashanti Region hapa. Chairman be no bet me know how to do untimi.
I see.
Na ho den is sika, I mean it's strategy. But nipa ho funo.
Yeah.
It gets to a point that obey be any nipa fe bi. Akoko sachi akroma. Somewhere by his own doing, somewhere by virtue of say what chance watch it. To watch friend say switch to omuswa. And me I was one of those I felt say that nka chairman they move on to a different position and then handed friend say stay away from the Ashanti Regional Chairmanship and then allowed Kuka to take over. And I think say in the it's a right friends a call. And this is not his first time. I think say he's going to win hands down. Uncontestable.
Because so far Minyati say we are
he's going to win hands down. And then this is the time they have to really revamp. But I think say there's something going on. People are not really paying much attention to
what?
People are complaining about the friends MPP, the registration that they are doing.
What's that?
It's like it's like there's nothing going on. Because there's no proper friend say branding beer just upon boss there's no proper community announcement. You say community stay titimuno. Oh sorry how much say allow kuba nyane ye biemu. Your friend said this not alarm. This friend said this horns
local information center.
Information centers are working us up. Baby I'm saying Kobi one say chebi I'm make call from the district assembly how report no. Because by 5 o'clock they are there making this noise. So as I say, every community, local community, especially in Ashanti region, I say stronghold na. Opese ka ginger the party no. In kafa tata nipa. So as I say, these communities information centers, how much do they take?
15 cedis, 20 cedis.
What I say, but minti say in early of this midnight time, Masorama Mbufusa quality the day nyane no. You can about this going registration.
Wow.
They are not doing it.
And even on radio.
I think so for their benefit, they just don't want people coming into the register.
Yeah, but so
me some of what the coordinators are doing, the MPP should executive no more in that because some of what their coordinators need be as a registration form their question them. It is just offer will be kwesi obi so any panel friend no e bi ama I say in the bonafide property. This is Sanya may be saying a man from who you machine.
When you are in opposition, you don't even have that luxury. I don't know why they are not getting it.
That's some of the coordinators say. Coordinators, if you say, those will be 2 more.
Please face the camera and
like, what are you guys doing? Because I didn't know. For me, it doesn't make sense. Why do you have to keep a party form in your office, in your bedroom, or in your there? No, be complaining. Why should you be
Justin Kodua is sure be brave. Adwuma na mo yes mo be revamp the MPP party. If indeed some person mo revamp party in your stronghold, which is Ashanti region. I'm telling you, say every community in Ashanti region now or community information center. Use these information centers and then tell every community say this is where you can register. I'm telling you, say be our party anymore when you. But virtue say when you can register me man party card crack no. Nenije.
Yeah.
Oji party card and say you allow people the opportunity to serve. The party card alone revamps the party. You're saying, say, fine, you have to be in a good standing for at least 1 year as not contesting for a certain position. Fair enough. Remember last week I was saying, say, even if there are some positions, they have to waive that. Because it has been done before for Dr. Bawumia. And it was not a mistake. Dr. Bawumia, by your MPP party, especially for MPP winning 2016 election, was virtually half of it was done by him. It's that that aspect, was never a mistake. Until I was even advocating, say, some position be on man, just pay certain dues, they let you run. Even if you're not going to waiver, allow people to come to the party.
Because they are more. I say, Obia say in fact Obia.
Yes, book this amount for more to more.
I tell you,
this how come
Omuni baby
I say what to say. Yeah, registration.
So I mean, say.
The for status na me who. Now when you be number, you can't get it from their status.
Wow.
I only get to know your status when you have saved my number. I've also saved your number. I'm talking about your WhatsApp status. So me new number, now need me number.
Yeah.
So by virtue of
I have to make mine public for say my contacts.
We have these community information centers. They take literally nothing.
Ashanti you radio crazy. Radio
see the forget radio.
Community
use the community information because what we registration we na person mo here. I want say community based so that you be able to organize properly. So that the campaigner you don't need to have mammoth rallies.
2020 omo campaign no muni information any be Google go car to on there and where say cast in way where are they and after election obi aton di amon kan. These are the things that somebody dey okroma for we say MPP registration NDC party and why I kono with mudi agora also mo registration look at Dr. Frank Amakohine or registration center or sa posti on the Facebook page.
They had a registration center.
Yes,
MPP for registration center.
Awai
me busa I'm asking.
Me be any more akochere me.
No, I am asking. I don't know. Wow, this is strange, man.
So there are people they are so party card. Now that she be so to make a no fast way the way they have that how they move for the mommy.
Yeah.
And you compose yourself
yeah.
But
as a be any say we fear japade bi no offer book na kotune dem na. No, some things that doesn't make sense in the society anymore. These are the things that you did for and it really cost the party. And you are repeating the same thing. Okokaswa na penyi bi all party news end up ever concern why
you stronghold upon you. If this is happening at the headquarters of MPP, then other regions so I won't say
we've had about one hour with this show. We have to draw the curtains on it. Sure. At some point lightning in 20 and I'm watching a 2-hour exclusive but pardon us, we will come back again sometime. So hopefully Friday we'll meet. But then we appreciate your time for staying with us. I've been in the studio with Chidi Richard. Chidi, I know you want to have a last word before you go. Do you hear me? All right. So what's your last word?
Honorable Muntaka as one CMP.
Interior
Minister now. Once over the years about how we recruit people into our security agencies. Now people were suspecting some bribery and corruption and some security FFA and Oba and I say okay. What's a side in the Can
I have you, let's say Friday for your take fully because this one in
Okay.
I really want to talk about it too, and I'm sure that
Yes,
you want to talk about it.
This topic,
But
I
yeah,
really want to get.
A
So,
full editorial.
Yeah.
between today and Friday, they're quite going to be
Yes, 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 yes.
and it's a major story for the weekend. You know,
Yes.
I'm hoping Friday we can have time to talk about
I
it.
think we
Today-
can do Friday.
Fine.
We can do Friday. So
We
let's
can.
end and
Thank
then
you.
do Friday.
Any last words before we leave?
Send a back I said that now for my talk for no. I do for mobile boy me. Yɛde sɔ paa sɛ mobɛboa yɛn ma ɛgya akrakyi ade fɛfa a mobɛyɛ ma yɛ na ɛfɛ ɛda mo ase bebree nti nyankopɔn yɛ adom a yɛbɛkɔ so ada mo ase as we keep doing it.
Well, Medindi Kwasi Mensah. I was in the studio with Chidi Richard and my good friend CJ Louise. Hopefully, Friday we'll meet again in the same studio at the same time. Thank you, DJ Nasco. Thank you, Efia Bedu, Black God, EKQ Prime. My friend, it's been a long time. Good evening to you, wherever you are, Gabby. We'll meet again on Friday. Until then, have a good night.